If you own a Nintendo Switch or Switch 2 and love RPGs, there's never been a better time to jump in. From massive open worlds and classic turn-based adventures to fast-paced action RPGs, these systems have something for everyone. Today, we're counting down the 20 best RPGs you can play on Switch and Switch 2. Let's get started. Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen is one of Capcom's most underrated RPGs, and if you haven't played it yet, now's the perfect time. You take on the role of the Arisen, a hero whose heart is stolen by a dragon, setting off an adventure across a dangerous fantasy world filled with monsters, hidden caves, and memorable boss fights. One of the game's biggest strengths is its vocation system, letting you freely switch between classes like fighter, mage, ranger, or powerful hybrid builds. Then there's the unique pawn system, where you create your own AI companion and recruit pawns made by other players to complete your party. Combat is fast, satisfying, and lets you climb giant enemies to target weak spots, making every battle feel exciting. Dark Arisen also includes the challenging Bitter Black Isle expansion, adding dozens of extra hours of content. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues Cloud's journey after the events of Remake, opening up the world of Gaia with huge regions to explore, side quests, minigames, and plenty of secrets. Even if you're familiar with the original, this version keeps things fresh with expanded locations, deeper character interactions, and a story that takes some unexpected turns without losing what made the classic so memorable. Combat blends fast-paced action with tactical strategy, allowing you to switch between party members, build ATB gauges, and unleash powerful team abilities. Every character feels unique, encouraging you to experiment with different playstyles throughout the adventure. The world is packed with optional content, so there's always something rewarding to discover beyond the main story. Running this game on Switch 2 is impressive in itself, with stable performance and solid visuals that make it one of the biggest RPG experiences you can enjoy on a Nintendo handheld. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter searching for his adopted daughter Ciri, while a terrifying force known as the Wild Hunt closes in. The story is excellent, but what really makes this game stand out is the quality of its side quests. Even small missions often feel as meaningful as the main storyline, with memorable characters and difficult choices that shape the world around you. Combat mixes swordplay, magic science, potions, and careful preparation before taking on dangerous monsters. The Complete Edition also includes Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, two expansions that add dozens of hours of outstanding content. Thanks to backward compatibility, Switch 2 delivers smoother performance, sharper visuals, and more consistent frame rates than the original Switch version, making this easily the best way to experience Geralt's adventure on Nintendo hardware.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No. Really upset him too. His theory collapsed.
Dark Souls Remastered. You explore the fallen kingdom of Lordran, where every shortcut, hidden path, and interconnected area rewards careful exploration. The game doesn't hold your hand, but that's exactly what makes every victory so satisfying. Combat is deliberate and challenging, forcing you to learn enemy patterns, manage your stamina, and think carefully before every attack. Boss fights are tough but fair, and overcoming them is one of the most rewarding feelings in gaming. Character customization is also excellent, with a wide range of weapons, armor, spells, and builds that support many different playstyles. On Switch 2, the game still runs at its 30 frames per second cap, but benefits from more stable performance and improved loading. Whether you're new to Souls games or returning for another playthrough, this remains an essential RPG that every fan of the genre should experience. Trails in the Sky first chapter is an easy recommendation. You follow Estelle Bright and her partner Joshua as they travel across the peaceful kingdom of Liberal, taking on jobs as trainee bracers while slowly uncovering a much larger adventure. The story starts at a relaxed pace, giving you time to get to know the characters and the world, but it steadily builds into something unforgettable. Every town feels alive, NPCs constantly update their dialogue as the story progresses, and even small side quests help make the world feel believable. Combat is turn-based, with movement-based strategy, encouraging careful positioning and planning instead of simply selecting attacks. On Switch, the game already runs smoothly, and Switch 2 offers even faster loading and a cleaner overall experience. If you enjoy rich storytelling and memorable characters, this is the perfect starting point for one of gaming's greatest RPG series.
This is the end!
This is dangerous.
Sea of Stars is proof that classic turn-based RPGs still have plenty of life left in them. Inspired by legendary games like Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG, it combines beautiful pixel art with modern mechanics to create something that feels both nostalgic and fresh. You play as Zale and Valir, two solstice warriors who harness the powers of the sun and moon to stop an ancient evil threatening the world. Combat rewards good timing, letting you boost attacks, reduce incoming damage, and interrupt enemy abilities by breaking their attack patterns. Exploration is just as enjoyable, with puzzles, hidden treasures, and colorful locations that constantly introduce something new. The soundtrack is outstanding, featuring music from both Eric W. Brown and legendary composer Yasunori Mitsuda. On Switch 2, the game runs at a smooth 60 frames per second, with almost no loading, making it one of the best performing RPGs on the platform. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake brings two of the most important RPGs ever made back with a stunning visual overhaul. Using Square Enix's HD 2D style, the games combine detailed pixel art with modern lighting and 3D environments, creating a beautiful presentation while staying faithful to the originals. Dragon Quest I offers a focused adventure as you set out to defeat the Dragon Lord, while Dragon Quest II expands the formula with a larger world, 3 playable heroes, and more strategic battles. Both games include updated controls, improved menus, rearranged music, and plenty of quality-of-life features that make them much easier to enjoy today without losing their classic charm. Whether you're experiencing these adventures for the first time or revisiting them after years away, they're an important part of RPG history. On Switch 2, both titles run flawlessly at 60 frames per second, making this easily the best way to experience the beginnings of the Dragon Quest series. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of Monolith Soft's finest achievements, and easily one of the biggest RPGs available on Nintendo systems. The story follows Noah, Mio, and their companions as they search for the truth behind a world locked in endless conflict between two nations. Without spoiling anything, it's an emotional journey filled with memorable characters, huge plot twists, and themes that stay with you long after the credits roll. The combat blends real-time movement with abilities, class switching, and powerful Ouroboros transformations, giving you endless opportunities to customize your party. Outside of battle, the massive world is packed with side quests, hidden areas, hero characters to recruit, and enough optional content to keep you busy for well over 100 hours. On Switch 2, backward compatibility delivers more consistent performance and noticeably faster loading, making an already fantastic experience even smoother.
All coming together. Nice! That's what I'm talking about. That was over way too soon.
Seeing Cyberpunk 2077 running on Switch 2 is impressive enough, but what's even better is how well it actually plays. You step into the shoes of V, a mercenary trying to survive in the dangerous streets of Night City after becoming linked to the digital consciousness of rockstar Johnny Silverhand. The city feels alive, packed with missions, side stories, and different ways to approach almost every situation. You can focus on hacking, stealth, heavy weapons, melee combat, or mix everything together to create your own build. The Ultimate Edition also includes the excellent Phantom Liberty expansion, adding a completely new district and another outstanding storyline. CD Projekt Red did an excellent job bringing this massive RPG to Nintendo hardware, offering both quality and performance modes on Switch 2, with DLSS helping deliver surprisingly good visuals. Octopath Traveler II. You choose from 8 unique characters, each with their own story, abilities, and personal journey, before exploring a beautifully crafted world brought to life through Square Enix's stunning HD 2D art style. While each adventure begins separately, the characters gradually connect through shared events that make the world feel much more unified than before. Combat remains one of the best turn-based systems around, combining the break and boost mechanics with new latent powers that give every character unique abilities and encourage strategic planning. The soundtrack is phenomenal, the writing is consistently strong across all 8 stories, and there's plenty of optional content waiting beyond the main quests. On Switch 2, the game runs at a flawless 60 frames per second with crisp visuals and fast loading, making this one of the finest traditional JRPGs you can play today.
Scatter before me!
Final Fantasy X is considered one of the greatest JRPGs ever made, and it's easy to see why. You play as Titus, a young blitzball star who is suddenly thrown into the world of Spira, where he joins the summoner Yuna on a journey to defeat a powerful creature known as Sin. The story is emotional, filled with memorable characters, and builds toward one of the most unforgettable endings in the genre, without relying on unnecessary twists. Combat uses the excellent conditional turn-based battle system, giving you plenty of time to think through every move, while the sphere grid offers deep character customization. The package also includes Final Fantasy X-2, which features a faster-paced adventure and one of the series' best job systems through its dress sphere mechanic. On Switch 2, both games benefit from faster loading and smooth performance, making this remaster the definitive way to experience 2 classic Final Fantasy adventures. Persona 5 Royal is one of those rare RPGs that excels in every area. You play as a high school student who discovers the mysterious metaverse, where he and his friends become the Phantom Thieves to change the hearts of corrupt adults. The game perfectly balances dungeon exploration, turn-based combat, and everyday school life, letting you build friendships, improve your skills, and decide how to spend each day. Battles are fast, stylish, and highly strategic, rewarding players who exploit enemy weaknesses and build powerful personas. Royal expands the original game with new characters, additional story content, an extra semester, and countless gameplay improvements that make an already fantastic RPG even better. The soundtrack is unforgettable, the presentation is packed with personality, and the cast is among the best in modern gaming. Even at well over 100 hours, it's hard to put down. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Set in the kingdom of Ivalice during a brutal political conflict, the game follows Ramza Bolv as he uncovers a conspiracy far bigger than the war itself. The story is mature, filled with political intrigue, betrayal, and memorable characters, making it one of the strongest narratives in the entire Final Fantasy series. Gameplay revolves around strategic, grid-based battles, where positioning, terrain, and careful planning matter just as much as your character levels. Its legendary job system lets you unlock dozens of classes and combine abilities to create powerful custom builds, offering incredible freedom throughout the adventure. The Ivalice Chronicles version modernizes the experience while preserving everything fans loved about the original. On Switch 2, battles run smoothly with improved loading times, making it easier than ever to dive into one of the greatest strategy RPGs ever created. NieR Automata. You play as 2B, an android soldier sent to reclaim Earth from machine lifeforms after humanity is forced to abandon the planet. What begins as a stylish hack-and-slash adventure slowly evolves into a thought-provoking story that explores identity, purpose, and what it truly means to be alive. The fast-paced combat, developed by Platinum Games, mixes melee attacks, ranged weapons, dodges, and aerial combos into one of the smoothest action systems in the genre. Every playthrough reveals new perspectives and additional story content, rewarding players who stick with it until the true ending. The soundtrack is easily one of gaming's greatest, perfectly matching every emotional moment throughout the journey. The End of YoRHa edition also includes all DLC content. While performance on Switch 2 isn't perfect in every situation, the improvements over the original hardware make this remarkable RPG easier than ever to recommend. Kingdom Come: Deliverance. Instead of magic, monsters, and fantasy kingdoms, you're dropped into a realistic recreation of 15th century Bohemia. You play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith whose peaceful life is destroyed by war, forcing him to learn how to survive in a harsh medieval world. There are no chosen one powers here. Every skill, from sword fighting to lockpicking, improves only through practice, making your progress feel incredibly rewarding. Combat is slow, tactical, and demands patience, while quests often give you multiple ways to solve problems depending on your abilities. The Royal Edition includes all major DLC, adding even more hours of content to an already massive adventure. Although the original Switch version struggled with performance, Switch 2 delivers a much smoother experience through backward compatibility, making this the best way to enjoy one of the most immersive RPGs ever made. Persona 3 Reload is a complete remake of one of the most beloved JRPGs ever made, bringing a modern look and smoother gameplay to a timeless classic. You play as a transfer student who discovers the Dark Hour, a hidden time between days where mysterious shadows roam the city and a massive tower known as Tartarus appears. Alongside your classmates, you awaken the power of Persona and fight to uncover the truth behind these strange events. Like Persona 5, the game mixes dungeon exploration with everyday life, letting you attend school, build friendships, and strengthen your social links, all of which improve your abilities in battle. Reload modernizes combat with faster mechanics, improved visuals, and updated quality of life features while staying faithful to the original story. The emotional journey, unforgettable soundtrack, and memorable cast make this one of the strongest entries in the series.
Enemy down. Keep that up, Iori.
Pokémon Legends Arceus completely changes the traditional Pokémon formula, and the result is one of the franchise's most refreshing entries in years. Set in the ancient Hisui region, long before modern Pokémon trainers existed, you joined the Galaxy Expedition team to research Pokémon and create the region's very first Pokédex. Instead of following the usual gym challenge, you're encouraged to explore large open areas, observe wild Pokémon, gather resources, and catch creatures directly in real time without always entering battle. Pokémon behave naturally in the environment, with some running away while others attack on sight, making exploration feel much more dynamic. Battles are faster than previous games, introducing agile and strong styles that add extra strategy to every encounter. On Switch 2, backward compatibility provides smoother performance, faster loading, and a more stable experience overall. Fire Emblem Three Houses is one of the deepest strategy RPGs on Nintendo Switch, combining excellent tactical combat with an unforgettable cast of characters. You play as Byleth, a mercenary who becomes a professor at Garreg Mach Monastery, where 3 student houses from rival nations study together. Early in the game, you'll choose one of these houses, and that decision completely changes the second half of the story, giving each playthrough its own unique perspective and ending. Between battles, you spend time teaching students, building relationships, and improving their skills, making every victory and loss feel far more personal. Combat remains classic Fire Emblem, rewarding careful planning, smart positioning, and effective teamwork, while the Divine Pulse feature lets you rewind mistakes without restarting an entire mission.
It was a good try.
Dragon Quest XI's is everything fans love about traditional JRPGs, polished to near perfection. You play as the Luminary, a young hero who discovers he is connected to an ancient legend, only to find himself hunted instead of celebrated. What follows is a massive adventure across colorful kingdoms filled with memorable characters, emotional moments, and plenty of classic Dragon Quest charm. The turn-based combat is simple to learn, but offers plenty of depth through character skill trees, pet powers, and a wide variety of equipment and party combinations. The S Edition adds orchestrated music, additional character stories, quality of life improvements, and even the option to experience the adventure in a retro 2D style. Every town, dungeon, and side quest is packed with personality, making it easy to spend well over 100 hours exploring the world. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. This modern reimagining of one of gaming's most iconic RPGs expands the opening Midgar chapter into a full-length adventure, without losing what made the original so special. You follow Cloud's Strife as he joins the resistance group Avalanche in their fight against the powerful Shinra Electric Power Company, while an even greater threat slowly begins to emerge. The combat perfectly blends real-time action with classic RPG strategy, letting you switch between party members, build ATB gauges, cast powerful magic, and customize your team through the materia system. Every character feels unique, making battles exciting from start to finish. Intergrade also includes the excellent episode Intermission starring Yuffie, adding even more high-quality content. On Switch 2, the game delivers impressive visuals and stable performance, proving just how capable Nintendo's new hardware is.
We can take it! Make it rain!
And that's the list. 20 RPGs across Switch and Switch 2 that are absolutely worth your time. Whether you're chasing stories, grinding builds, or just want something to sink into for weeks, this library has something real to offer. Like and subscribe if this helped you out, and I'll catch you in the next one.